Hey everyone, I think I'm live, but as usual, I'll wait and let YouTube and StreamYard agree with each other before I start saying anything meaningful, because that happens all the time. Here we go. Do you know how I'm always like, at that 10-second mark when it goes live in YouTube, I'm always like hurrying to mute myself. I've actually discovered that you can right click the tab. So I use Google Chrome. You can right click the tab and then just mute the site. Like I did not realize you could do that. That's like magic. It's amazing. So yeah, I'm well happy with that. So because it means I don't need to sit about and wait for it to. Anyway, see what I said about not saying anything meaningful. Merry Christmas Eve to everyone. I am here. I am in my Christmas Eve jammies that I've just received earlier on this evening. Um, I'm well happy with them. They're nice fleecy jammies, and I told them to get me like a size too big, so as that they just kind of I like baggy jammies. I think when you're kind of in house clothes and um like in bed, you want to be comfy and not have things tight fitting. At least that's what I prefer anyway. Um, I've got I'm not working tomorrow, obviously. So I've got a proper cup of tea, none of your decaf shite. And I've also got a wee glass of wine. Echo Falls strawberry and lime infused, I think, for anyone that's interested. So yeah, happy days. Santa will be coming tonight, just 3 hours to go. Well, 3 hours for me and for my fellow UK people. I know for some people it'll already have been. So I don't know if we've got Hen or Nerys or anyone else from that side of the world in the chat, but for them it's already Christmas. So if you've not messaged them already to wish them a happy Christmas, then do so. Um, but yeah, anyway, I'm rambling on as usual. It is lovely to see so many of you here because I know that it's a busy day. If people aren't busy spending it with their loved ones and whatnot, then they're busy cooking and doing whatever else that you normally have to do on Christmas Eve. So let me do a quick roll call. Let me get through and say hi to everybody that's here. So get Robin's in first, and I see what you did there, Robin. Thank you. Christmas Eve. And then we've got Ishi. Hi there, Ishi. How are you? We've got lovely Mendes here. Sandra's here. Hi, Sandra. How you doing? Justin, my brother's here. Um, Kristen. Hi, Kristen. How are you? We've got Gerald from Knit and Brow. Hi, Gerald. We have got lovely Jackie. Hi, Jackie. Um, I need to not sing Christmas songs, right? As soon as you hear me start humming Christmas songs, then just get me told. That means that's get me told in Glasgow slang, by the way. Um, Sorry. Anyway, I digress. We've got Henna's here. Hi, Hen. How are you? Merry Christmas to you. Got anyone else? Have I missed anyone? I'm some kind of sorcerer. Oh, it's jumped. Dr. David. Merry Christmas, Dr. David. Um, Justin is making strombolis and prepping seafood. Sorry if I missed anyone saying hi. Jackie says, "Sing away, Chris." It's that Kelly Clarkson song that was playing in the car when I was going to pick up Sandy. So I've kind of got that stuck in my head. Um, let's see. I'm conscious I might have missed some. Oh, we've got Simon. Hi, Simon. Yous are all kind of cottoning on to this Christmas thing. Jackie's got a wee Baileys. Cheers, Jackie. If I've missed anyone at all, then I do apologise. But hi to everyone and Merry Christmas or Merry Christmas Eve to you all. It's so nice to be here on Christmas Eve. It's my favourite kind of day of the week is always the day that I finish up work on, Usually Friday. Friday evenings are great, like because you've just finished work, you've got the whole weekend ahead of you. Um, so this is especially exciting because obviously I'm not working tomorrow, so I'm off work until Tuesday. It's Christmas Eve. Santa's coming tonight. So that makes it even more exciting. And just as like the cherry on top, or it would be the cherry if I liked cherries, but I don't. But the cherry on top of the cake, Sandy's off work for a few weeks. So yeah. So when I am back working, I'm not in the house myself. I've got company. So happy, happy days. Um, so yeah. Hi everyone. I don't have a big massive plan if I'm totally honest with you. I'm not as this isn't as planned out as it usually is. I really just wanted to kind of get together with everyone. To be honest, I know that it's a tough time. Do you know what I mean? Especially at this time of year when a lot of us are used to being surrounded by lots of people, and you know, yous are really important to me. Yous are my Taro family, and I wanted to spend some time with you at Christmas, and I wanted to, give people the opportunity to all get together at this time of year. So, yeah, that was the kind of primary reason, and because it's my usual Thursday. But what I did want to do, I have got a couple of things here written down. Oh, thank you, Simon. I've just seen your comment. Thanks, everyone. Jackie says beaming smiles. Yeah, you can tell Santa's coming, can't you, Jackie? Um, Sandy Claus. Yes, indeed, Robin. Indeed. My presents have been wrapped in under that tree for about 2 weeks, maybe even more. So, yeah, finally tomorrow I'm going to get to open them up. I've been told that, well, I would never get up early and open them without him there anyway. I would never do that, but I've been told that there's an order that I have to open them in. So, like, there'll be no sneaking through or anything like that. I wouldn't do that anyway. But yeah, anyway, the first thing I wanted to, right, so earlier on today, right, usually every day, or sometimes I miss a day by accident, but every day I try and do a daily reading. Elle's popped in. Hi there, Elle, how are you? Oh, wait, no, Elle, I'm not happy with you still. Here's me being all nice and I'd forgotten that you're now my arch enemy. I'm only joking. It's lovely to see you. Well done on your victory yesterday. I was so impressed. Um, when I when I got up to 5, I thought I had it in the bag, and then Elle just crept up on me. But the best person won. Anyway, this is going to be a night of tangents. I can see it now. What was I saying? Every day I do a daily reading, and today, this morning, afternoon, I did a reading, but for tomorrow, because I thought it was going to be a chaotic day tomorrow. I might not get a chance. Plus, it'd be nice to have a wee look and see what, have a think about what Christmas is going to look like. Let me turn on my table cam, because, I tried to, let's see. Nope, I don't want my big face. I want my wee face. I was filming a video, right? But I was like a bumbling buffoon, so I was. I just couldn't get my words out, and I was going round and round in circles. And I thought, you know what, sack this, scrap it. I'll just talk about it live tonight. So I'm going to talk to you about my Christmas Day reading. So I left the cards, so we're backwards, right? So there's the Chariot. We've got the Two of Cups, the Empress, and yeah, the Tower. So like these came out like 1, 2, 3, 4, and when I do my daily readings, it's strengths, weaknesses, an asset, and an opportunity. All right, so that's my daily reading. Then often I'll do my addy up thing. I'll add them up. Usually my keyboard's in the corner there. I'll add them up and see what kind of personality the reading's got. So starting off with strengths as the tower, and you immediately you think, well, how's that a strength? Like chaos crumbling round about you. But then I remember, like, the tower isn't just about that kind of bringing the tower down. It's also one of the important things that we learn to do during that tower phase is picking up the pieces, recycling them, putting them to better use. So it's not just about like shit hitting the fan. It's how you react to it and how you kind of salvage the situation. Salvage, that's the word I'm looking for. Um, so that's potentially what it's looking at, and with Christmas Day being what it is tomorrow, given that it's the only day that in Scotland anyway, and probably for quite a lot of us, it's the only day that we can really see our family and whatnot. And it's normally when we family get-togethers, we tend to have a few drinks and we start talking about politics, and conversations can get heated. I think though, given that tomorrow is the only day that I've got to actually spend with people outside my own four walls, at least for the next few weeks, I'm not really interested in getting into all that. I want to keep things positive tomorrow. You know, I want tomorrow to be a happy day. I don't really want to start going down that kind of path. Um, so I think that it's important that we bear in mind the message of the tower. You make the best of a shitty situation, and if that's coming up as a strength for me, then I'm feeling quite positive about that. We then come into weaknesses, being the Empress. Now the Empress, among other things, is about growth and creation, creativity. So yeah, we're making the best of a shitty situation, but don't expect to be, having big learnings and significant personal development, all that kind of thing. Just like it's about getting by. It's not about coming out of tomorrow being a whole changed new person and learning all this stuff and furthering yourself and all that kind of stuff. That can wait a day. It's about enjoying ourselves tomorrow. So I won't be looking for any personal growth tomorrow. That's for sure. I'll be quite happy just having a good, enjoyable, lazy day, to be totally honest with you all. Um, and I'm doing my usual and not looking at the comments, so let me catch myself up before I go on. Oh gosh, there's quite a lot of chat. I've got quite a lot of you here, which I'm really, really happy with. It's so nice of you all to pop in and see us. I'm glad. I mean, I would have been quite happy with a wee kind of quiet, cozy live, to be honest, because I thought people are busy. But it's so wonderful to see you all. Thanks for popping in. Um, Masha's here. Hi, Masha. How are you? Just seen you. Elle says I'd have made your life hell if you'd beaten me. I don't doubt it. Masha says I've already opened my Christmas gifts. That's right, because you're in the future, Masha. Merry Christmas. Sandra says she was rubbish with the quiz, right answers but too slow. Simon says too right, Elle. You've given Genja for the last 12 months. Were you a close runner-up last year, Elle? Betsy's here. Hi there, Betsy. Aloha, how are you? You're dashing between errands, but you're glad to be here for a bit. Well, it's lovely to see you here. Um, Trying to skim by the kind of hellos and stuff. Um, how's your mother? Oh, how's your mum? Um, So it's Selkie's asked how. Oh, hi Selkie. By the way, I don't think I said hi to you. Hello there, lovely. She's asked Simon how his mum's doing, and Simon says, "Per care today, thanks, Selkie. We've just helped her into bed." Oh, that's good. I'm glad she's doing okay, Simon, or she's doing a bit better today. Oh dear, we've jumped to some orange. So I'll just read out the tags. So we've got, thank you for being here, Chris. Jamie says, I left the clinic Christmas party to be here and say hi. Oh, Jamie. Oh, don't you just love Jamie Kelly? Um, yeah, well, it is amazing to have you here, Jamie. I just hope that I can live up to the clear expectation. You're putting a lot of pressure on me now. But no, it's amazing to have you here. Masha says, I'm very well, pleasant and relaxed, and Christmas is in the cards for me. Cool. Right, I'm going to finish off talking about this, because I'm yapping away here. Um, right, okay, so that was strengths and weaknesses. Then we've got assets and opportunities. Now, I don't know how many of you remember Justin's live that he did on Jilly's channel, the Wine and Tarot night. But he put together this pretty awesome Christmas spread, in my opinion. And I used the Tarot de Marseille when I was pulling my cards for that, and this Two of Cups came up for me, but it came up in the position of what about the holidays makes us oh gosh, how exactly was it, Justin? Was it what about the holidays makes us feel sorrow? Or basically it was like there was like a positive feeling card, a negative feeling card. And this was what came up for me in the negative feeling card. The fact that it's now coming up and what I would deem as like a positive situation, I'm quite happy with, because it's either a situation that I've turned around, or maybe it's just talking about something different. But an asset that I've got is, and that's this card, the Two of Cups. It talks about our relationships with other people, with friends, with family, with our partners and whatnot. And that is definitely an asset. I've got my Sandy, and that's really all I need. But um, obviously, we're getting to spend time with the family as well, which is just brilliant. So yeah, that's definitely a strong asset that I've got. And then coming at the end there with the opportunity is the Chariot. The Chariot talks often about bringing different aspects of your life into kind of conjunction. Is that the right word? You're basically just trying to align them into alignment's probably a better word actually, and get them singing from the same hymn sheet, because quite a lot of the times we go through our life and for example, our work life and our love life, or our family life and our friends life, different aspects of our life will pull us in different directions, and it can be really quite destructive on us as people. And one of the kind of tricks is to kind of use your intellect, use your heart, use your willpower to bring these different aspects into alignment. Whoops, I am so sorry. I've just probably given you all a sore head. I'm starting to get all excited and I gestured too emphatically. my big flamboyant hands. Christmas makes us all feel a bit flamboyant, doesn't it? But where was I going with that? Yeah, so bringing all of these different aspects into alignment and get them, it's like the two horses. When the two horses start pointing in the same direction, they pull the chariot forward. The minute that they fall out with alignment from each other, if they start going off in different directions, then that chariot is getting ripped apart. Or if one horse starts slacking, like I always remember this holiday we had. I think I was about 18, so it wasn't. No, it was that long ago. That's a long time ago. We're looking at like 14 years ago now. So yeah, that's a long time ago, but that's depressing. Anyway, when I was 18, me and my family went to Mallorca, and like it was my dad's side, so there was like my dad, my stepmom, me, my two brothers, and my three sisters. Right, so quite a lot of us, and we hired out one of those big, like almost like a buggy bike type thing. So it's like one big contraption, right? And everyone's got, well, apart from the two girls, the two wee ones, I think, but everyone's got pedals. So there's one, two, three, four, five, six, I think eight sets of pedals. Um, and everyone's got a pedal. But what, what was happening was loads of us weren't. Loads of us couldn't be arsed. So I think at points my dad was basically pulling the entire car and all of us, like himself, he was pedaling, and we basically just had our feet sitting on the pedals, so it looked like we were pedaling. Um, so so how did I get talking about that? Because when one horse starts to slack, the other horse has got to take up that slack, and it can be really quite a bad strain on that horse, right? So when the different aspects of our life aren't, they aren't fulfilled and they aren't pointing in the same direction, then quite often what happens is one aspect takes the brunt. We put all of our hopes and dreams, all of our purpose, we basically put all of our eggs in one basket, and that's a lot of strain to put on that. And what happens is quite often that aspect can suffer for it. So the Chariot's an important card. It talks about, it's got a lot of implications, and it's got a really kind of strong and powerful message that I think that is important for all of us. So anyway, let's bring it back to my Christmas reading. How is that important? Well, because I need to make, we need to make decisions at this time. It would be great if I could just kind of follow my desires and follow my heart and see all my family and all that kind of thing, but I need to keep them safe. So if I let the dark horse, which quite often is associated with kind of base carnal desires and, you know, like needs and that kind of thing, if I let that get out of control, then I put my family at risk. So I need to kind of make sure that I'm kind of reining that in. And I think that's kind of how it's applicable here. So yeah, guys, I didn't really mean to go on about my own reading for quite so long as that. But yeah, that's my Christmas reading. And like I say, I did try and do like a wee video that I was going to put up earlier, but I couldn't get my words out for some reason. So yeah. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about was, it's Christmas time, and Christmas is a time for gift giving, isn't it? And it kind of made me think about all the amazing, gifts that I've been given just in the time that I've been in this community, which is, probably since about April time. But this community has really kind of been so kind to me as a person that I'm not one to often, do big videos saying I got this gift and I got that gift. Not that I've got anything against. I quite enjoy seeing videos like that on YouTube, but normally I quite like to kind of thank the person privately and normally leave it at that. You'll maybe have seen a video or two where I have kind of shown stuff that I've got. But I did get to thinking about all the stuff that I've received, and you've maybe seen that video that I posted yesterday, where I was talking about this deck. And there's no need for me to be quite so small. I was talking about the Vincent Petici Tarot of Marseille. So I kind of gave the short version of the story of how I got this on that video. So basically, Vincent Petici has got a YouTube channel. So please check it out if you don't already follow it. But he does a monthly Zoom call. Anyone is free to join. The link to it is on his site. It's tarotmaps.com, I think. The information for the meetings there. It's basically every second Tuesday. No, that's a lie. It's not every second Tuesday. It's the second Tuesday of every month. All right, so it's once a month, and it's the second Tuesday of the month. So I've been going to them for the past couple of months, and in the last one, I was asking about Vincent's deck, because right now he's not shipping to the UK. I think just because of COVID and stuff like that. He's only shipping within the US because that's where he is. And I'd asked, have you got any intentions of like putting it on Amazon or anything? Because I think he'd maybe said a year ago or so when he was first bringing out the deck, he was maybe talking about like having it on Amazon. Anyway, I don't think that that's his plan, but after I'd kind of asked that and Vincent had answered, one of the lovely people that was also at the Zoom meeting, Sorsha, and Sorsha, you'll have seen her in my chats because she comes into my live chats sometimes and she follows my channel. She messaged me separately. So she had basically got an extra one essentially. I think that she'd ordered the deck. It took ages and ages to come, and they thought that it wasn't going to get to her. So Vincent kindly sent her another one, and anyway, they both turned up. And Vincent, who's an absolute gent, he said to her, "Just keep it. Don't need to worry about paying me in like that. Just you keep it." So when I'd kind of asked that question, Sasha had said to me, she messaged me privately and said, "Look, I've got another copy of that deck that's sitting and I'm not using it, and I'm moving soon and looking to offload some extra stuff. So I'd be more than happy to send you it." But she didn't want to take any money off me for it because she hadn't, she didn't have to pay for it. So we agreed that she would send me it and I would get in touch with Vincent and ask if I could pay him for it, and then that way everyone's even Stevens essentially, yeah. As Nerys popped in. Hi Nerys, how are you? Happy Christmas. So it's a big long story. Anyway, Vincent got back to me and says, "Look, don't worry about it. Just think of it as a Christmas present from me and Sasha." So again, very kind of him. Tried Sasha again. Sasha didn't want to take anything for it, not even for the postage. So anyway, long story short, I've benefited from so many people's kindness, most recently from Sasha's and Vincent's. Now, because I couldn't pay them back, what I want to do is I want to kind of pay it forward, essentially. So I'm going to do a wee giveaway. Open to anyone. All I really need you to do is the usual script, just put a comment in this video after it goes up after the live. Pop a wee comment in the comments box and let me know that you're interested in entering. And at some point we'll do a draw for the for it and see who's won. Not. Oh, Dean says hi. Well, tell Dean that I said hi as well, Hen. And Carol and Chloe, if they're there as well, tell them that we say hi as well. I hope everyone's having a great Christmas. I hope you've been spoiled, Hen. You need to let us know what Santa's brought you. So yeah, giveaway. So please, after this, pop a wee comment in the comment. You know what I mean, in the comments for the YouTube video. And just let me know that you're interested in being entered, and you will be entered. We'll do the drawing probably live, and we'll see who wins. I've not decided what the giveaway is yet. I think what we'll probably do, and Simon, my sincere apologies, I'm going to steal your idea from yesterday, if that's all right. Whoever wins will have a chat, because I don't want to double up on something that you've already got. So we'll have a chat and we'll see if there's something that I can Amazon to you or something. And I'll probably say up to the value that I would have paid for this deck if it hadn't been for, if I hadn't got it for free. But anyway, yeah, please enter, because I want to pay the kindness forward. So yeah, that's that. Now, my intention is to do some readings, some free readings. I love to do readings. That's my thing. So I'm going to stick the ticker on for a reading. Please tag. Yeah, let's show that. So let's get that going. So anyone who wants a reading done, please let me know. Give me a shout. Tag me is probably the best way, because as we know, YouTube tends to, or has a slight tendency to not show capital letters comments. I've got the actual YouTube chat popped out on my other screen, so I should see it if I'm tagged. Similarly, if anyone's saying anything to me, please tag me because there's a lot of comments here, and um, I'm struggling to keep up, to be honest. And you know how I like to ramble, and before I know it, 5 minutes have passed and the chat's scrolled miles. So Justin says he's forgotten his own spread. I'm sure you sent it to me. I'll be able to find it. My phone's been used for this. Oh, actually, see whilst I remember. Last week, I did the roundtable reading with Sue. Last week, I realised when I came off live, I looked at my phone and I was getting this warning that my phone was too hot. I think because I had the charger in and because I was using it, I think I nearly fried the damn thing. So I'll need to just kind of keep my eye on it. I know that that's going to shake everybody, but I don't want my phone to go up in flames on Christmas Eve. Um, Flamboyant, most people call me Muppety instead, Kristen says. Simon ordered an Oracle deck yesterday and it arrived today. Super impressed. Forest of Precious Twigs. Lovely, Simon. Sandra's ordered the Deviant Moon Triumphe. The Paradoxical Blue Triumphe de la Luna. Lovely, Sandra. That sounds amazing. Kristen's got to go. All have a lovely day. Happy Christmas, y'all. Happy Christmas, Kristen. Thank you so much for popping in. I know you're probably long gone by now, but I'm going to say it anyway. Debbie, hi Debbie. I don't think I've said hi to you yet. There was lots of us encouraging Sandra's deck buying today. So Mendy to Masha to Mendy even. You're finally getting Paradoxical Rose. I hope you like it, Mendy. Or are you getting the Paradoxical Rose, Mendy? That's exciting. Saw the email yesterday. This year I'm planning major work on myself. I need a miracle, says Justin. No, you don't. You're an amazing person. You don't need a miracle. Couldn't resist one. I think I'm just going to have to do a wee skipperoonie. I'm so sorry if I'm missing people's comments. Like if anyone's like talking to me. Mendy says, Chris, I know you've been loving the Patishi deck. How are you getting along with the Spanish Tarot? Did you get it cleaned up? I've not cleaned it up, Mendy, to be honest with you. It doesn't bother me. The feel of it, to be honest, my Ancien Tarot de Marseille, the Grimaud, that's worse. That's a lot worse. And I've even gotten used to that. So honestly, the Spanish Tarot, like I think it's quite nice. The feel of it and all that. And yeah, getting along good. It's love the colours on it, so I do. Like I really love the colours. I've actually I was using it, so I was using that and all my other Tarot de Marseilles maybe last week or something. It was before the Patishi one came because I never used that in it. But I basically put together for myself. It's just like a PDF kind of thing. It's like a table, and it's distinguishing between Type 1 and Type 2 Tarot de Marseille. So it's like a card, 3-column table, right? So card, and then Type 1 and Type 2 columns. So you've got, like, for example, the full Type 1 called Le Faux or Le Fall. And then I've taken some pictures of ones that I've got that have like Type 1 fulls, and I've kind of pasted it in, and then Type 2 called Lamat, and then taken a picture of the cards that I've got that are Type 2, and pasted them in. So it's basically like a kind of visual kind of guide to distinguishing between Type 1 and Type 2. I have to give Masha a shout out because her video on the subject is absolutely like comprehensive, fantastic. If you haven't seen it and you're the slightest bit interested in Tarot de Marseille, then go look at Masha's video. You'll be able to find it through her playlists. Is that what it's called? Is that what they're called when you group videos together? Wow. Anyway, whatever it's called, you'll be able to find it, and I think it's like Geeking Out on Marseille. Is that what it's called, Masha? And within there, you'll be able to find a video. It's something to do with Type 1 and Type 2. If someone wants to put a wee link to it in the chat, then please do so. But yeah, I used some information in that, and yeah, to put together. It was really for my own use. It was like a wee table, so as I could quickly scan it and see all the differences. So yeah, thanks for that, Masha. Jackie says, CCAT asked a question. Oh, thank you so much, Jackie. CCAT, will I be able to meet my son, Thomas, March next year? Okay, let's have a wee nosy at the cards and see what they say for you then. In fact, do you know, see, because it's more of a yes/no question, I'm actually going to pull out the, I'm going to use this, the Arcana playing cards, just because you get that kind of black and red type thing, and it might be a wee bit better for the yes/no. Whoops. As she says, last minute bits, keep rolling those R's. What did I say, Ashley? I know I do say some things quite funny because of my accent. But CCAT wants to know if she's going to meet Thomas next year, next March. Okay. Let's do a wee swap around in here. So we've got the Hanged Man. So we're kind of suspended there. We've got a... okay. So we've got, well, they're right here. The pips are right here, but normally these would be black. An abundance of blacks normally means it's not going to happen in March, to be totally honest with you. So let's have a deeper look into the cards. I'm not going to lie, I mean, they're quite difficult cards that I'm seeing there. You know, we've got the Hanged Man, which is, you know, taking a different approach, taking a different point of view. Quite often we associate it with sacrificing something. If it's like everyone else, if it's COVID that's keeping you from them, then it's maybe having to kind of forgo being able to see them, just to kind of keep everybody safe and that kind of thing. And that might be the kind of Hanged Man that's coming in talking about your situation. But definitely doing things a bit differently, and taking a different viewpoint in order to achieve enlightenment is normally what the Hanged Man is talking about. Your advice there is coming up with the Nine of Spades. Now, that can be quite a troublesome card, but if it's channeled in the right way, it can be quite powerful for us as well, because it's basically, it's Nine of Air, all right? We've got quite high intellectual, mental energy there. Now, if we channel that properly, if we use that in the proper way, then, you know, it gets to a point where it's like the world's there for the taking. You know, you can almost do anything you set your mind to. So although you might not be able to see Thomas in person, there will be other options for you. All right. It's just about you kind of putting your mind to them and being able to see them. And then you've got the Four of Spades coming out there at the end, which we would not normally associate with kind of rest, time away from the battle kind of thing, and taking the time that you need to almost recharge your batteries. Okay, so I mean, CCAT, this is normally where a bit of back and forth would help. You know, if you were sitting here with me, you'd be able to tell me, well, you know, this is the situation, this is why I'm asking, and this is maybe why those cards make sense or don't make sense. this, but I appreciate that it's quite a difficult, it's quite a difficult thing that we're talking about. So don't feel the need to put anything else or anything like that. But yeah, hopefully what I've said on those cards is maybe a wee bit of help. But yeah, that's the situation as I see it just now, based on where everyone is at the moment. But these things are always subject to change. Just remember that. Right. So I think V's asking a question there. So V says 2020 was mad, and I'm wondering where to best put my energy for 2021. In the new year, which suit energy should I concentrate on my intention setting? Which suit energy should I concentrate on in my intention setting? So as in water, earth, fire, air, like what one of them should we be concentrating on? So we can pull some cards for it. I mean, do we want to be? Do you know what? Let's switch to the Marseille Wait. Oh, definitely switching now because they've just went everywhere. Such a slidey deck, that Arcana tarot deck, so it is. Like they've got this coating and they just kind of slide really easily, which is nice when you're like counting. But yeah, it's when you try and put them down and expect them to stay still and behave themselves, it's murder. Right, okay, well I had the Three of Wands turning around there, so definitely a concentration on fire, and where you're going with your passions, I think would be helpful for you, V. So bear that in mind. Fire Ace of Wands is turning around as well. Yeah, I'm kind of getting cards more kind of flying at me rather than given the cards that have kind of flipped round. That is what I'm wanting to say. Sun, fire again, Aries with the Emperor, fire. The Hermit's Lander. Yeah, fire energy is the answer to your question, is what I think. Fire energy, I mean, our primary source of energy, as it is on Earth, is the sun, which is a big ball of, well, we think of it as a big ball of fire, but it's a big nuclear reaction, really, isn't it? Get vitamin D from the sun. It's important for our physical health, for our, mental health as well. Sunlight is so important, and I was saying to Sandy earlier on, like, because I was shaving, and when I came through to get him to check my face to make sure I hadn't missed anywhere, I said, I feel as though I'm looking really pale. Now, I've been kind of, you know that my skin isn't the best, right? But I've been kind of getting, my skin's not the best around my eyes. So my eyes have been looking a bit puffy and red lately, which makes the rest of my face look even paler. So I'm kind of not looking the best. And he said to me, you're probably just not getting enough sun, which is true because I'm not getting out enough. And I'm not taking in that energy that I need. So I mean, Scottish people are naturally very, what's the word that we use, peely-wally, which means pale, and unhealthy looking. But me just now, even more so. So definitely working with that fire energy, working with the sun, is going to help. It's going to bring those kind of happy vibes. The sun as well. The sun's light is like it shines the truth on things, so it does. So if there's any bullshit that needs to be cut through, the sun is your friend. So it is, because the sun's light reveals everything, essentially. Unlike the moon's light, which can be quite deceptive. All right, so sun, and then we've got the Emperor coming in, with that Aryan energy, that fire energy also. We associate the Emperor with that kind of bringing order out of the chaos. And everyone needs a wee bit of Emperor energy, I think, in 2021. It's like that tower. It's been a tower year for everyone. And what I was talking about earlier on when I was talking about the tower is the key is knowing how to pick up the pieces and go on and salvage what's salvageable and leave behind what we need to leave behind. Yeah. So it's bringing order from that chaos that happens with the tower. So definitely looking at some serious Emperor fire energy in 2021, and then the Hermit, going within, learning more about yourself. For everything that you're doing here, you're getting your kind of Hermit energy out at the end there. All right. So some serious personal development, some searching within. It tells me that you if this was the Hierophant, then I'd maybe be saying we need to be looking at, externally. We need to be looking at your community. We need to be learning from other people. But everything that you need to do for your intention setting and you're working with, with your energies and whatnot, you've got everything that you need within you. You just need to kind of shine that light and see it for yourself. All righty. Right, let's see if we can tidy up some of these Arcana playing cards. Let me just check and see. Naomi says take some vitamin D. Yeah, I know. Do you know, funny story? Well, I thought it was funny. See, I've got one of these sense of humours where I think something's funny and then I say it out loud and actually it's like wham wham wham. It's not really that funny. But I'm going to tell you anyway, and you need to be polite and laugh. So I was wrapping presents earlier on, and I was wrapping the person who Sandy's got in the Secret Santa for his family. I was kind of grabbing their stuff to wrap Sandy's presents for him, and they've got like their big present, their fancy present was sitting right beside Sandy's vitamins. I don't know, D3 vitamins maybe, but anyway, some kind of vitamins that he got from the doctors. And I grabbed the vitamins instead, and I almost took this person was almost getting a pack of half-used vitamins as their big present instead of their present that they'd asked for. So that would have been good. I would have been in big troubles, but thankfully I caught it, and they're going to be getting their proper present, and Sandy can still have these vitamins. Anyway, hilarious story over. You may all now laugh. Their kind of playing cards are away and behaving themselves. So I'm still looking for tags. Like I said, if you've got any questions, then tag me, or tag one of my blue spanners, one of my mods. Let's see. Masha's got a Thoth Greenie from 1983. I really love it, more than the modern versions of Thoth. I did get it cheaply though. Do you read with Thoth, Silky? So, oh look, I just left out some cards. That was a bit silly, wasn't it? Yeah. By the way, better be careful because Masha, that's lots of nice decks you've got. You're going to find one of us like scaling the walls of your building with suction cups to come in and steal all your pretty tarot decks. Oh, Naomi, I lost a present today. I had no idea where I had put it. Then bam, remember? I thought at first when I read that, I thought you said I had no idea where I put the bam, as in the bam pot. Okay. Oh, Justin's got a question. Just seen that pop up. Yeah, Jen, of course you can. Sorry, have you been trying to ask a question? And by the way, hi there. It's lovely to see you. So we'll do Justin's question and then we'll do Jen's. Jen, just put your question and I'll look for you after I've read for Justin. Could you give me a bit of advice about dealing with holiday anxiety? Okay. Let's see what advice we have for that then. Yeah, I've not got a list or anything, Jen. So yeah, just ask away, and I will know to look for you after I've finished reading for Justin. And like I say, guys, if I'm missing anyone, then shout at me. Why is Jackie said, ew, Sandra? Oh, yeah, no, I'm not going to read that out. Whoops. Just seen Mendes. So Ten of Swords just popped out, Justin. Ten of Swords, quite often the key with that is moving on from the trouble, you know. Quite often we find it difficult, and I think this is why, I mean, it's because they've taken it from playing cards, but quite often the Ten of Swords is a really difficult phase for us to move on to, and quite often the message we need to hear when it's coming up is, you know, you're kind of, you've got yourself stuck in this feeling negative, and it's about being able to know how and when to move on. So anyway, sorry, I just thought I would talk about that because it jumped out at me. But we're wanting to talk about how to deal with anxiety in general, and in particular, holiday anxiety, or yeah, holiday anxiety. Okay. Oh, okay. So we've got the Eight of Swords, we've got the Ace of Pentacles, we've got the Nine of Pentacles. Right. Okay. So let me just take a drink of my cold tea. Do you know what? We're going to down this, and then we're going into the wine, right? Right. The tea's done. We're on to the wine. I think I might just spilt it down myself. Right, Justin. So we're coming in there with the Eight of Swords for the, you know, for the situation that you've got. So eights, you know, because you've heard about me talking about numerology, like you're probably sick of it, to be honest. But eights for me, there's this kind of weird, you know, balance between stability and instability with the eight. There's this like kind of stability but movement as well. It's like, see in the way that, you know, justice is eight. So see in the way that a justice system, the laws, the natural laws, or you know, the laws that are brought into play with the justice system, the laws that kind of, if we can learn to operate within that system, those laws, whether they're natural or man-made, then you know, we find ourselves getting on really well within that system. Okay, so it's like kind of stability giving rise to progression and attainment and, you know, advancement. So it's there's what the point that I'm getting at is that there's like stability, but there's movement, right? Now, in the Eight of Swords, we kind of see that, you know, we talk about stability giving rise to advancement and movement, but sometimes it can be, you know, it can be in a negative way. So sometimes we feel stuck, right? Stability isn't always a positive thing. So we've got the double eight, you know, the double, not the double eight, we've got the double four, the major stability. Sometimes that can make us feel constrained and stuck, and we just need to get out and move about a bit, but we just feel trapped, okay? And what that can lead to is high energy, right? So this advancement, this kind of high energy that comes from the stability, that can lead to high energy up here. Okay. You feel stuck, you feel constrained, you start to withdraw into yourself. We start to kind of really start to feel really negative about it, mentally, emotionally, and it can really affect us. Quite often though, the message that we need to pay attention to with the eight is that there's, you know, it's at least in part self-inflicted, or you're you're a contributor to keeping yourself in that trapped situation. In the swords, air being the suit of the mind, quite often it's your mindset, it's how you're looking at the situation. Okay, so I mean, even if we take these two cards out of it, there's a lot of advice and and meaning in that card for you. Now, your advice card as it stands is the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so we've got something fresh, something new coming into the equation, some new seed, new energy that we need to, first of all, realize, because, quite often we as humans, we go about our daily business not noticing quite a lot of the stuff that happens that flies by us, and that's why the tarot's so good, because it kind of it opens us up to this stuff. If somebody tells you there's an Ace of Pentacles coming your way, maybe not using those words, but if somebody tells you Ace of Pentacles is coming up, so you've got this kind of new growth, that new potential, then it opens your eyes and you're more likely to realize it. And that's, to me, that's why the tarot works so well, and that's why it's such a good tool, is because it raises awareness, and it inspires us. Um, so yeah, there's new potential for growth coming your way, all right? And we're talking pentacles here, right? These last two cards are pentacles, so we're talking feeling safe, we're talking feeling secure, fulfilled in our own material environments, yeah. But as I always say with the aces, it's a seed only. You, Justin, need to water that. You need to nurture it. You need to care for it. And ultimately, it needs to be you that sees that through to being a 10. All right. Your next question is, right, that's good. That's all good and well, Chris. But how do I do that? And am I going to do it? Well, yeah, because we're coming up with the 9 of Pentacles, right? Which is just one off the 10. So the message there is, I know that you're feeling shitty right now, or not that you're feeling shitty, but I know that, there's times just now when you do feel yourself struggling, but that's not all, it's not always going to be that way. There's something coming your way that's going to kind of almost just light a fire, give you a bit of new oomph about you, and that new feeling of hope. And given that you nurture that and treat it the way that you need to treat it to see it through to fulfillment, you've definitely got the potential to do that, because you get the 9 of Pentacles there. She's so content in her environment. She's seen her ace all the way through to a 9. Yeah, if we were to kind of look at this very surface level and think like maybe money, then she's pretty affluent. She's pretty well off. She's enjoying her money. She's worked hard, yeah, but now is the time for her to enjoy, the things that brings. Um, Equally with Pentacles, we could be looking at things like health, home environment. So it's the same message, really. You've got potential coming your way that you need to nurture and work on, but as long as you do, you'll find yourself in this affluent, successful position. So Stephen said, I'm a self-sabotaged like 10 minutes ago, self-saboteur. Right, okay. Well, I mean, I hope that helps. I mean, it says that there's something new coming your way. I think we probably both have an idea of what that might be, to be fair, Justin. So yeah, the new thing that's coming your way, that has potential to go far. You just need to be willing to put in the work and work on it. Okay, let's leave it at that. So Jen, you said you want to ask. Then I had Jackie asking a question. Don't know if I've seen. Right, okay, I see it there. Let's get Jackie's question, and then we'll look at Jen's. By the way, if anyone just wants a wee general, maybe like a wee Christmas reading, maybe one similar to the one that I did for myself, then just let me know if you're interested in that. Then I'd be more than happy to do that for you. Probably should have said that ages ago. Naomi says, good lad, Chris. I wouldn't have bothered with the tea. I thought I would show well in Naomi. Okay, Jackie, so I was adopted and I've gone through usual channels to trace birth mother but not found her. Should I try harder or give up? Love my parents to death and don't have a desperate need. Okay. Oops. Okay, probably don't want to be cut then. So, right, okay, so I've got temperance coming in right away with the situation. So trying to find some sort of balance. Is what temperance talks about, and it's balancing opposite aspects. Now, I know that in this depiction, temperance is pouring water from one, vase to another. Um, Quite often, though, we see her working with like maybe water and fire. It's a card of opposite elements, really. So it talks about finding balance and trying to bring different aspects into tandem. You remember what I was saying about the chariot earlier on? It's kind of like a more not conscious. Um, it's a similar message to that. Put it that way. Bringing those things into balance, finding that temperance and finding that balance. Now, that's not always an easy thing. Often, what I say when the temperance card comes up, it's not about me telling you what the balance should be. It's about you finding the right balance for you. All right. So I quite often equate it to, rightly or wrongly, I'll quite often equate it to pouring a vodka and coke. Right. So, like my measures for vodka and coke won't necessarily be the same measures for Sandy or for one of you guys. We all have our own tastes when it comes to food and drink. We all have our own individual balance, our own individual measures. And it's the same. Obviously, we're generally not talking about vodka and coke, but it's just a really kind of simple example that I like to use to demonstrate what I'm talking about. So the balance isn't the same for everyone. All right. Um, the the right thing to do in your situation, Jackie, is going to be very individual to you. So by all means, speak to people in similar situations, and that's maybe something that I would say is, if you know anyone who's also in a similar situation, have a chat, have a wee private chat with them, and just like kind of. Sometimes it's just nice to kind of speak to people in the same situation and find out what their thoughts are. But ultimately, it comes down to you. Only you are going to really know, you know, what is the right thing for me to do. Do I stop here or do I keep going? In the advice position, we've got the Empress. Um, so we do quite often associate that as being like the kind of mother card, don't we? Or at least a parent card. So it's quite a powerful message, and I think, to be honest, I can define this for you. I can interpret this for you and tell you what my message for the Empress is. But I have a feeling, Jackie, that all I need to do is direct you to that card. You have a look at that. What is its meaning for you? You don't need to tell us here in the chat, but it's the advice card in any tarot reading is it's more powerful if the person who's getting the reading actually looks at it and has a think for themselves about what it might mean. But yeah, nurturing is quite often what we talk about with the Empress. It's like kind of encouraging growth, branching out, um, but also knowing when to stop, knowing when to like kind of cut the bad bits off a plant in order to promote and promote best growth. That's quite often one of the roles of the Empress. And maybe I'm kind of, we've got the Empress at 3 and we've got Death at 13. I might be kind of overlapping a bit into that, that death message with the cutting the bad bits off. But I think that they're interconnected. It is a role of the Empress, and it's something that she needs to do. So again, promoting growth and the fact that it is, like the kind of the fool's earthly mother, is quite a powerful message. And coming in at the end, we've got the Valet de Dernier, which is the page of coins. We're talking about new directions there again. We're talking about learning something new. Usually quite practical if we're in the Pentacles suit. But I see a kind of new energy. I don't see things coming to a close is maybe what I would say to you. So yeah, I think that's probably as much as I want to say in a more public space, Jackie. I really hope that has maybe been a wee bit helpful to you. I know that was quite disconnected. It's certainly wasn't as fluid as what I would maybe have liked it to have been, but I hope that it's been helpful for you. And that maybe looking at these cards yourself, it might have kind of meant something to you. But yeah, hope that helps. So yeah, we'll leave that one there. Jen's question next. Just looking to see whether I've been missing any comments. One card read for the week ahead. Just one card, Robin? Is it just one card you want pulled? I can do that if you want. But we'll get Jen's question first. I've still got you here. So I have so many goals for 2021, primarily around my tarot and spiritual practice. What needs to rise to the top to be tackled first? So you've got so many goals and they're primarily around your tarot and spiritual practice. What needs to rise to the top? You're welcome, Jackie. I think rather than situation, advice, and outcome, Jen, what we'll maybe do is within, without, and advice. So that way we're looking within, and then we're looking out with at the kind of environment outside us, and then we'll look at an advice card and we'll see if we can kind of glean some sort of message from those three positions and the cards that we'll get for them. So deck doesn't really want to be cut just now, so let's not. So within, I've got the Ten of Pentacles. Without, we've got the Cavalier de Coupe, and advice is this Ace of Pentacles is coming up again. So you can probably, this is the advice card that Justin got. All right. So right away, I'm going to say kind of the same thing to you as what I said to him. There's something new coming in for you, Jen, that you're going to want to concentrate on. Don't decide for now you know, what it is that you want to focus on, or by all means make a plan. I know that you're the kind of person that likes to make a plan, but just be prepared to be flexible, be prepared to change that, because there's something coming in for you from out with, all right? It might be a connection with someone new, um, something coming in that is going to pull focus, and that's okay, all right? Because we all need to be adaptable, you know. It's important in our lives. It's important in businesses. I mean, Jen, you're a Jen. Did I just call you Jen? I certainly didn't mean to, but apparently that's what's happened. Let's take another glass of wine. Good old Jen. Anyway, um, you you're a kind of business-minded person, so you know what would happen to a business if it tried to stay set in its ways and it wasn't innovating and it wasn't changing with the times. It would fail ultimately. It would crumble and it would fall. And that's why businesses these days, they're always kind of chopping and changing. They're always looking at the competition. They're looking at the opposition. They're, in my work, we've got know your opponent. We're always kind of changing and reacting to what's happening around about us. And it's important for a business to do that. It's equally important for us as individuals to do that. That's a practice that we need to apply in our everyday lives, because life very rarely is constant. I mean, that's probably been a big lesson for all of us in the last year. We need to be able to adapt and change our, whether it's our daily kind of habits or daily routines, or whether it's something a bit, just a bit more personal, a bit deeper than that. But we need to be able to adapt and change to meet what's happening around about us. So yeah, don't get too set on the plan that you make. Make a loose plan is probably what I would say. And then we didn't talk about the within card, which is the Ten of Pentacles. We've got the Tree of Life there being made by the shape there that the Pentacles make is the Tree of Life. Tree of Life for me, it's on the back of the Arcana playing cards there. So you've got the roots. It's like the kind of as above, so below. Connection between heaven and earth, or the interconnectedness of all things that it talks about, however you want to put it. But we get this idea of like renewal, recycling, passing down. All right. So what does that mean for your within? Interested in what your thoughts are on that, Jen, to be honest with you. If I withdraw out a bit and zoom out a bit and if we start talking about the surface level meanings of this card, we think of family, and we think of the importance of seeing everyone around about you. Make sure there isn't anyone who's kind of being forgotten, and make sure you're not that person who we've got the person here. The dogs are the one who's paying most attention. Everyone else is kind of in the background, quite absorbed by their own lives. But we do have this Knight of Cups coming in, and we do have this potential for new energy, new growth. So, and 10 of Coins often talks about as well being in a good position financially. We talked about the 9 of Coins earlier on. The 10 is just like kind of your cup runneth over almost. So safety and security don't seem to be an issue. I think it's going to be focusing on your connections, either to yourself or to those around about you. That's going to be your focus for next year, Jen. That's like, see when somebody calls you into a meeting and says all that, that's when you say, that could have been a one-line email. That's one of those meetings that could have been an email. So yeah, I did go on a wee bit there, but hopefully some of that was helpful for you. Need to resolve old family legacy issues. There you go. Card's been stalking you and keeps coming up in a similar way. Right, okay. I have no plans, so this shouldn't be too hard. I don't believe that for a single second. I think that you've got PowerPoint presentations, spreadsheets, Excels, they're color coded, they've got macros. I think you've got everything. I don't believe for a second that you don't have a plan. Oh, dearie me. Is that your first reading from me? Wow. It's always an honour to read for one of my heroes, which you undoubtedly are. Right, next we've got Robin, who wanted a one-card pull for next week. Robin, yeah? Hi, Kay. Kay Thompson's here. I am grand. I'm absolutely brilliant. I was saying earlier on, this is like peak time of the week, day of the year. Santa's coming in just under 2 hours now. So yeah, I'm feeling great. How are you? What have I fooled folks into thinking? Jamie says, I'm afraid to ask for a reading because you're deep today. If you want me to like pull some cards and just talk about shit, Jamie, then I would be more than happy to do that for you, lovely. Right, Robin, let's look at your card for the week. So let's see. Oh, okay, deck wants to cut there. La Papes, the High Priestess. So I've said a couple of times before, quite often when I'm thinking about the message of a card, what's quite useful is to, if there's any cards that you think of in pairs, bounce them off each other, you know. Um, when was I thinking this? It was earlier on today when I was looking at my Empress card. Quite often it helps me to think of what the meaning of the Emperor is and how he and the Empress work together. And it's the same in the High Priestess and the Magician for me. The High Priestess is that kind of passive, kind of quiet energy almost, and the Magician is the active energy. The Magician is the show off, the flashy one who's wanting to pull everyone in. Everyone's interested in what the Magician is doing or saying. The High Priestess is a lot more subtle. Quite often, the High Priestess, you maybe wouldn't notice the High Priestess if you walked by her in the street, but my goodness, does she know shit? And don't forget, she's the guardian of that, that subconscious or unconscious realm. Behind her veil is it's the land of the moon. You get the moon card essentially behind there, and that's where we really delve into that unconscious, that having to deal with all that kind of shit, that deception. Right now, she's protecting us from that, but she is essentially the mistress of that realm. So that's all kind of very wishy-washy, lots of speak for that. But if we kind of zoom out, like I was saying before, zoom out and let's think a wee bit more surface level. So we've got the High Priestess, the 2 card. So 2s will often think about, duality, right? And we don't see it here actually. Well, I suppose the columns are there, but they're behind the veil. But we think about the Boaz and Yakin columns, the Boaz being, I think, the feminine and the Yakin being the masculine. So we think about the kind of, she sits in that duality and she ponders, she plans. All of the kind of High Priestess magic is going on up here and here in her third eye, and I've just poked one of my eyes. That was clever, wasn't it? But yeah, everything's going on kind of up here. She's planning, she's looking ahead. It's that kind of germination. Is that the right phrase? It's kind of like once you've planted a seed, the 2 stages where it sets its roots, right? It's where everything, all of the kind of action that's going to happen after that gets planned. So the next week for you, Robin, is going to be a week of planning, of thinking about the time ahead of that, thinking about the actions that you're going to take, and really considering your position, and where you're going to take everything. So it's only one card, so very, very general reading for you there, but hopefully it's meaningful and means something to you. Oh, right. So Hen's going to run and get ready to head to the next destination. Been awesome. I've got wine here, thanks. Oh, here you go. Actually, yeah, make me a tea, please. Sorry, I'm just putting my order in. Hen's going to go and get ready for that's right, Hen. I remember you saying because you jump between different places on Christmas Day. Well, have an amazing day. I hope you have fun. And hope Dean and the kids are doing good. Right, let me just go back and see. Elsie's KKKKKK. Jamie, right, you said, sure, let's do that. So you want me to just pull some cards and talk about surface level, non-deep, random stuff. Right, okay. We'll try this with the tarot. I'd probably say usually playing cards would maybe a bit better for that, but do you know what? Let's go for it. I'm feeling good. Right, okay. So, strengths, 8 of Wands. So we're talking about movement from stability, getting all of your ducks in a row, and that's going to give way to being able to progress. Weaknesses, justice. Interesting. We've got two. No, justice is an 11 in this deck. How annoying is that? It's supposed to be a Marseille deck. Oh, right, well, that's throwing me a wee bit. But anyway, we know that justice can sometimes be 8, and it does make sense in this context to think about it that way, because with justice, it's like the natural laws are that stability, and our capabilities, the things that that enables us to do, are the progression, the advancement, the movement that we think about within the 8. An asset, another 8. And then opportunity is 5. Right, okay. So we're speaking in 8s here. 8 is it's the number of perfection as well. That's basically where we get all of our shit together. We've been on a journey. We've done a lot. This isn't anything new. I'm not talking about something that's going to come into your life tomorrow and is just starting. I'm talking about it's a road that you've already been down and you've been going down it for a while. And yeah, that 8, it's telling you everything's gonna. And I love this 8 of Cups, particularly this one, because it really annoys me, the 8 of Cups. Now, I don't want to speak badly about certain decks because I know lots of people love the Smith-Waite, but in the 8 of Cups, the cups aren't aligned, like they're not symmetrical, whereas here they are. And I know it's because they're reflected in the water, which is another thing I really like. But to me, the 8 is the number of stability and getting that kind of symmetrical, perfect system in place to then push you forward. So yeah, I really enjoy the imagery in this card and the fact that they are kind of quite they're symmetrical and they're even. Everything's kind of in its place. So you asked me not to go deep, Jamie. So I'm not. We're talking surface level here, but we're looking at a time of movement and advancement. Okay, it maybe feels like, so when I say the word changes, I mean like kind of the situation progresses. I don't mean like kind of big wham, like everything's going to change and turn over and start again, start afresh. I just mean like the way the situation's going, it's going to start advancing and it's going to start going in a way that you never really thought was possible before. So really positive message here. We do have that Five of Pentacles coming in at the end as the opportunity card, but it is an opportunity, and sometimes all that's saying is it's an opportunity to see where true value lies. So quite often with the Pentacles, when we work our way through the Pentacles, we've got a tendency to put a lot of value in material things, right? Because at the start, you know, when we're first learning, when we're first growing, we do put a lot of value in material things. You know, when you first get a new house, it's really hard to see past it. It's, you know, if somebody says to you, you know, home's where the heart is and all that kind of thing, it's like, well, piss off. No, no, it's not. It's, you know, my home is my home, and that, you know, these are my four walls, and this is where I'm safe, and I'm not safe if I'm anywhere else, you know. Um, as we progress through the Pentacles, we kind of learn this lesson that your safety and your stability has to come from within. All right. Um, so there's an opportunity to see that and to kind of just to kind of grasp that message in one way or another. All right. Got a bit deep at the end. I'm probably going to get given into trouble for that later. But hopefully that was helpful, Jamie. And again, very non-specific. One thing I've not done, and I've never done it earlier on, even though I talked about it, was do the addition. So, right, okay, you can be 11 if you want, Justice. 11, 19, 27, 32. 3 and 2 is 5. Pay attention. Pay attention to this. Pay attention to the 5. Because these add up to 5. So pay attention to that opportunity. This opportunity might appear at first glance to be the scene that we see in the card, hardship. It might be quite tough going, but there's definitely, you know, an opportunity for growth there, be it physical growth or personal growth. Right, I'm going to stop getting too deep, otherwise I'm going to get in big troubles on Sunday when I talk to Jamie. Right, do you know what? I'm going to scroll here on this and just look for orange because I can see that Jackie's. It is still deep. You know, so, thank you so much, Jamie. I'm sorry, I know. I can't help myself. Yeah, so have you lots of deck-shaped presents under the tree from Santa? Get Christmas and Santa. Santa Claus. Yes, I do. I know of at least 2 because I've asked for them. And I'm not sure if I've got any more than that, but I'll be happy with just them, to be honest with you. But I'm very, I'm kind of like, you know what Shane was talking about on one of their lives, maybe not Monday there, but the Monday before, when it was like talking about how he doesn't like the surprises to be spoiled. I'm quite like that as well. So I noticed like maybe last week that one of my presents was kind of, the wrapping was coming undone a bit. And I was like, I wouldn't go near it. And I was like, you need to fix that. That needs to be sorted. I don't want to see what it is. But yeah, anyway, sorry, I went off on a tangent there, didn't I? Tarot trainee has a question, says Naomi. So I would love for you to give me some advice on my tarot study. I'm feeling like I'm struggling to feel inspired. My family is not interested in letting me pull cards for them, so practice is limited. So I'm going to give you just some advice from me, and then I'll pull cards for you. Tarot trainee, see these kind of lives where people are doing readings, pull cards. like just when you're watching, even just watch ones back, you can find hundreds of like live, like kind of free reading type things on YouTube these days. Lots of different people are doing them. Watch them back. Doesn't matter how long ago they were. You'll find some for like years and years ago. Just watch them, right? Someday you'll get loads of questions, and it's really good when you get questions that are from real people, even though it's from someone who's like 5 years in the past. Pull cards along with the people on the YouTube and just talk out loud to yourself. Do you know what I mean? So when you're watching, just pull cards along with it, um, and read them. You know, read along, and then think: do you agree with what the readers on there are saying? Do you think that you're not too sure about your cards and they know better, or do you think that you can answer the question better than them? But do lots of readings is the key, and that is a really good way of doing it. Now I'm doing this round table readings. I think I did one last week. I did one with Sue C, and the month before that I did it with Justin. And that is where we do a long reading. It's like a 10 card reading we do for. So I'll bring on a guest who is like my guest querent, and we'll do a reading for them. They bring a question to the table, and I'll pull the cards on the table in the same setup that we've got here, and then everyone, card by card, everyone gets a chance to give their interpretations of the card. Another thing that I would advise is Tarot Playdate. So Jen's Balanced Tarot does a series called Tarot Playdate, and if you're wanting to really kind of delve into the meanings of each individual card, that is the best advice I can give you. Jen or someone, if you want to, thank you very much. If you want to put a link to the Tarot Playdate playlist or something, or even a link to Jen's channel, someone, that would be great. But anyway, that's the practical advice just from me. But let's see what the cards are saying for you. Okay, so we've got the Tower coming up. We've got the Devil. Wow, so we've got 13, 15 and 6. So, I mean, my cards are all shuffled. I'm really particular about my deck being shuffled. But we've got 3 majors, and 3 majors really close together coming up. All right. And they're going backwards. So that's kind of interesting, isn't it? So for your situation, you've got the Tower. So that is just telling me that there's lots of stuff happening around about you just now. You kind of feel as though you're being pulled in all sorts of different directions. The stability of everyday life is maybe a bit in question, and it gives rise to difficulty. All right, you find yourself in quite a difficult situation, and how it's so difficult to concentrate on our personal development, personal growth, our spiritual growth and development when we're in Tower phase. Yeah, but like I was kind of saying earlier on, the key for the Tower, it's not just the Tower isn't just coming up and saying things are shit. That's it. The Tower has an important message. We need to learn to salvage the stuff. All right, so that Tower's getting blasted, right? We can see that the crown's coming off the top there, but it's not necessarily a complete loss. Quite often we can salvage parts of that Tower. We can take it on and use it going forward. And it's knowing what's salvageable and what to leave behind. Because quite often the Tower comes up usually as a remedy to the devil. So we find ourselves in a difficult patterns, maybe sometimes unhealthy patterns, and Tower comes along or that lightning comes along and just blasts that Tower down. It's almost like a way of getting rid of the unnecessary, of kind of cleansing, and that cleansing can be really painful, but it's a necessary step. So yeah, where you find yourself right now, it's probably as difficult as you might be finding things, it's a necessary step. It's just part of your kind of natural path. Now, it's interesting that we then come to the devil and the advice position. What I want to tell you is try and go back a step. Okay, you're maybe trying to move forward a bit too quickly, but if you look at how your cards are progressing, they're going back and back. You're needing to take a few steps back. You've maybe glossed over a few lessons that you could maybe be doing with firming up on. So, for example, we're talking about reading tarot cards, yeah. Um, I would never advise for you to just start putting yourself under pressure to read cards for querents for people like left, right, and centre before you've at least got some sort of grasp of the meanings of the cards. Now, I'm not saying you need to learn the meanings as per this book or any other book or any one particular person's meanings for the cards. You need to understand what they mean for you. And that can be different. It can be completely different from what they mean for me, is what they mean for Jen, what they mean for Jackie, etc., etc. But you need to suss out what these cards mean to you. Before you've done that, you're kind of putting yourself under too much pressure by trying to read for people and stuff like that. So that's one example of why the cards might be saying to you to take a few steps back. All right. Let's think about the meaning of the devil card. So at its very core, at its very base, the devil talks about desires. All right. Following your desires. And quite often we associate it with being too attached to your desires and not doing that necessary risk assessment that we need to do when we're in, when we're kind of following our desires. And that's why quite often it gets associated with things like addiction and unhealthy patterns, is because we're being led on by our desires. We've been led on, if you think back to what I was saying about the chariot, we're led on by that black horse. That black horse is taking the lead. It's going out of control, and we're not letting the white horse, the kind of the selflessness part of us, the sensible, the conscious mind, we're not letting that engage enough. We're not letting that kind of rein in and control things a bit. So know what your desires are. You need to you need to know what you want. You need to know where you want to take this, and you need to be just kind of be sensible about it. Make sure that you're not putting yourself under any unnecessary pressure, and make sure you're carrying out that important kind of risk assessment part that stops us from getting into unhealthy habits. Because devil energy has allowed people to do amazing things. I think I said this maybe when I was doing in the Patishi video, but devil energy can really when you get that your heart set on something and you really desire it, that could push you to amazing heights. So it can, but it can also take you down to like terrible lows. So that's why that risk assessment part is so necessary. You need to engage that conscious mind and just make sure that what you're doing is not detrimental to your own self. And then we're coming in with death at the end now, or Lamore. Quite often it's talking about a big change. Okay, so there is a big change coming in for you. It might not be something that you foresee or that you expect, but there is change coming. Okay, and we're talking, a big overhaul kind of thing. Death isn't really often talking about changing from taking one sugar in your coffee to taking two. It's normally something completely out with your control, completely unexpected, that comes in and can really kind of pull the rug out from under you. Now, change is something, like I was saying earlier, it's something that we all have to learn to deal with, okay? And really the only way to deal with it is to learn how to adapt and change with the kind of changing environment. And we quite often can get stuck by trying to cling on to the old ways, So yeah. Was there anything else I wanted to say there? I kind of lost my train of thought, but to be honest, I think that's me. There's a big change coming. So your question was about your tarot practice and whatnot. So you know, take a few steps back, I think was the first bit of advice. Know what you want and remember to kind of always engage that conscious mind. Don't just be led on by your desires and let them get out of control. And be prepared for your situation changing, and that might bring a change to your question. All righty. Okie dokie, right. So that was Tarot Trainee. So Tarot Trainee, you can let me know whether that was helpful or not. I hope that it was. Oh, good, the chat hasn't moved that much. So then, Jonathan, how will this visit with my mum go? What lessons are coming in the next 2 weeks? Excuse me. I can really yap on. That was only 3 cards, but I feel as though I've been talking for ages. Jonathan? Do you know, has anybody ever seen that series, Impractical Jokers? They do this kind of bit where they basically they act as a receptionist in like a doctor's waiting room or a dentist waiting room or something, and they just have to call out names. That's all they do. But the names have been devised by the other 3 guys. Larry, El's shouting Larry. Right, El, do you know? Do you remember? Do you know the bit that I'm talking about when they had to call out the names in the waiting room? And see if you do it. Do you remember Joe having to call out? It wasn't Jonathan. It was Jarnathan. Jarnathan. Every time I see Jonathan Daly, I think I want to go Jarnathan. So random information for you, but now you all know what's going through my head every time I see Jonathan. And now every time you all see Jonathan, you're probably going to be like, Jonathan. But yeah, ever since I've been in this community, ever since I've first known you, Jonathan, Jonathan. Right now I need to get my sensible head back on and answer your question. Right, so how's the visit with your mum going to go? What lessons are coming in the next 2 weeks? For the love of peace. Right, okay. Well, first of all, the kind of a situation card, I guess. You've got the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles quite often, we think of duality with the twos and we think of planning, but particularly with Pentacles, quite often we're talking about balancing different aspects. So like quite often our material lives, our safety, our security has been balanced off against something else. Looking maybe a wee bit more surface level, we can be looking at balancing maybe our financials with our desires or our work life with our personal life. Quite often, those are the two pentacles that we're trying to balance, right? Quite often with Two of Pentacles, we end up finding ourselves in a situation where we're trying to do too much at the one time. Or I say too much. See, for me, Two of Pentacles shows up when you're coping, but you're just coping, right? You've got It's the spinning plates analogy. You've probably heard me saying it a million times, and you're like, here he goes again. But you're trying to keep all of the plates spinning, right? And it's like you're managing just now, but you're just managing to keep all of these plates in the air and spinning. Now, eventually, what's going to happen is one of those plates is going to fall, because this isn't a system that you can maintain indefinitely. This is just kind of working for you right now. Okay. eventually what happens is one of the plates falls. Now you've got the choice. Right now you can look ahead and you can say, right, okay, this is the plate that I'm going to let fall. And you can consciously choose to take your attention away from that and choose to focus your attention on the other things that you've got going on. And what that lets you do, albeit something's going to have to fall, something's going to have to go in the back burner or whatever, but it's going to let you really kind of concentrate on letting those other things thrive. If you choose to continue the way you choose to do nothing and you continue to try and keep spinning all those plates, one is going to fall whether you like it or not. And quite often when that happens, when one falls out with your control, it knocks you off, it knocks your kilter, and quite often other ones will fall as well that you really didn't want to see fall. So that's a bit of a random message considering your question, Jonathan. But I'm feeling like you're wrestling with different things at the moment. There's maybe a bit of difficulty on the horizon that you're kind of looking at, that you're foreseeing, and you're maybe looking at how to deal with that. Magician in the middle is the battler. Um, I mean, the magician is the master, isn't he? It's this active energy. He's got all of his tools at his disposal, and he knows how to use them all. And he's good at kind of inspiring that, inspiring other people to use theirs. So what I'm thinking about there is the Fool's Journey. When the Fool turns up at the magician's table, the Majul. More wine, more wine. That was a combination of the magician and the fool, by the way, and the Majul. When the fool turns up at the magician's table, he's got his pentacle, his wand, his sword, and his cup, and his kind of wee knapsack thing. And he's like, I've got these random things, don't know what to do with them, don't know what use they are. The magician inspires him by showing him. And this is how it links to the aces, because it's that inspiration. It's that kind of, you see the full potential of what you've got, and the full potential that the suit can bring. And the magician is the same. He inspires the fool. He basically shows him what he can achieve if he really puts his mind to it. So you've got all of the tools that you need at your disposal. You've got everything you need in front of you right now. You've got it with you right now. You don't need to bring anything else into the situation, is what I'm getting there. And then lessons, Ten of Swords. So quite often the lesson in the Ten of Swords, and it's a difficult lesson at that, it's knowing, I think I said this way at the start, I don't know, I don't think you were here, but it's often about knowing when to kind of draw a line and move on. That can be quite difficult because Ten of Swords, we can be quite attached to that, to this Ten Swords energy. Quite often, we as humans, now I want to say this right, and I don't want to talk absolute bullshit, but as people, we can be quite connected to that. See that negative energy, see when we're, for example, upset about something, feeling really down about something, that releases the same hormone. I think it's endorphins is the word I want to use, but it releases the same hormone as what gets released when you're really elated and happy about something, right? That's often why it's so difficult for us to move on from difficult situations like this, because we actually get, in some twisted way, we get some sort of kick out of that difficult situation. All right. That, and we are naturally averse to change. We kind of tend to repel change because, the known is safe. Moving on from a situation brings the unknown, which we have a tendency to push away and put off and stuff like that. So the lesson for me quite often in this card is knowing when to get up, pull those swords out your back, and move on into that new sunset. So I've not answered your question at all, Jonathan. I'm so sorry. I don't. I'm trying to kind of reconcile the two. I'm trying to reconcile your question with the messages that are coming up and the cards that are coming up, and I mean, what lessons are coming up in the next 2 weeks? I mean, I think that what's been shown here is there might be difficult times. You've got everything that you need to be able to deal with that, and it's just pulling yourself up and moving on. You know, you're going to have to let me know how that was. You said thank you, which was thank you very much. Keep spinning dishes. So let me know if that resonates at all, because I don't know. I don't really feel as though I've helped you much, but maybe you'll know better. You said, yeah, been getting the Ten of Swords a lot in my spreads. I defeat myself with my own thoughts on a regular basis. Actually, all three cards have been stalking me. Okay, these will probably mean more to you than what they do to me then. So I hope that somewhere in my ramblings there, you've been able to glean something that's helpful to you. If not, you can give me a shout any time and we can have a wee call and we can sling some cards. Always happy to do that with my friends. Elle says, I can't unhear it now. Is that Jonathan? Debbie says, should we skip Christmas until my son can come home? He has COVID, or have too many Christmases. So let's pull a card let's do a wee options type spread then. Let's pull a situation card. Let's pull a card for waiting and doing one big Christmas when he's home, and let's pull a card for doing too many Christmases, and we'll see if we can gather some meaning from the cards that we pull. Oh, okay. So you've got the 6 there. You're trying to find balance and harmony. Now, see, this is what I mean when I'm looking at this card, right? Now, the 6s often talk about balance and harmony and all that kind of thing. And the blooming coins aren't in balance, yeah? So, I mean, are you leaning towards one option more than the other? Because the message here might simply be, in your heart what you want to do. So this was, we've got L'Amour coming up we've got Death coming up for the idea of waiting and doing, leaving off and doing Christmas later, further down the line. Death is change your mind, change your plans. I don't know if that's the option that we want to look at. And then we've got Justice coming up, which is a much more positive card coming up for the idea of doing, doing too many Christmases. I want to lean towards doing too many Christmases, but what I would say is it's interesting that the coins seem to be leaning towards this side. But I just can't get away from this meaning of change. Maybe it's just the idea that waiting until he's better, not doing anything tomorrow would be a big change for you. If you're used to celebrating Christmas, then I can't even imagine, this must be a really difficult time for you, both with your son having COVID and, having to kind of think about, what your Christmas plans are. So I'm so sorry, Debbie. And, I'm sure we all send all of our best wishes, our thoughts, our prayers that your son makes a speedy recovery. And then we've got Justice coming in there with our scales, our balance, our sword of truth, for the idea that of doing too many Christmases. I still want to lean towards that option. I think that it's important for you at this time, with everything that we've been going through and with what you personally are going through right now. I think that it's important that you at least have a wee bit of normality tomorrow. Um, it's important for you to kind of keep yourself well, and I think that you need at least a wee bit of kind of joviality, jovialness. You know what I'm trying to say. You need to have a wee bit of kind of a celebration tomorrow, but do it all again when when he's better and when you can be around about him, and hopefully that will happen sooner rather than later. Um, so yeah, Debbie, I hope that was helpful in some way. It's hard. First year in 29 years, I won't have both my boys with me. Right. Ugh, I'm so sorry. It's like I say, it's such a tough thing to have to go through. Um, but yeah, I'm leaning towards the idea of doing too many. Or do they even have to be many? Just have two Christmases. Two Christmases. Like you can't whack that surely. Um, but best wishes and kind of keep us updated on how he's doing. I hope he's doing okay. We have got. Did I see another question? Tarot trainee. This is good and sobering advice. I know that devil card well, and I was startled when you pulled that series of cards. Not a friendly set, but I know it's advice I needed to hear. I'm glad it was helpful for you, tarot trainee. Was that the last reading, or did anyone else want a reading? I'm not sure if I saw someone else who was asking for a reading. So let me know if I've missed anyone. Coming up for 11 o'clock, guys. So we've got an hour to go before I need to be in my bed sleeping. Otherwise, Santa won't bring me my presents. No, I'm joking. I'm probably after this. I'm probably going to go and watch a film. I watched Christmas Chronicles with my niece, not Monday there, but the Monday before, and then I'd intended to watch the second one with her on Monday there, but we ended up. I just went and met her and my best friend, our mum, in town on Monday. Sophie didn't actually come back home with me, so I never got the chance to watch that film with her. So I kind of want to see the second one now. So I might watch that, or I might follow my usual Christmas tradition. I normally always see the Christmas in by watching Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, which is random because it's not really a Christmas film. But there's snow in it, and it's a good film. I like it. As much as J.K. Rowling is a big turd. So, who have we still got here? I think Naomi said that she was going to bed, didn't she? I've got Aquarius, I've got Debbie, I've got me, I've got Jackie, and I've got Jonathan and Reese. It's just you guys that are in the participants kind of bit. I've got Diane as well with Thrush Cottage. Diane, I don't think I've seen you come in, so hi there, and how you doing? Jamie says, thanks for being here, big love. I'll give you crap on Sunday when we speak, lol. I know, I deserve it. I was told, I was warned, and I still went ahead. So, no, I deserve it. I'll be ready for it. Big trubs for me. Jackie says she loves Harry Potter films at Christmas. Knit and Brow, Gerald's still here. Are you wanting a wee Christmas reading, Gerald, or are you quite happy just spectating? Oh, look at that. Just as I said that, it popped up saying, I have a question for you if you want one. Please do. Fire away. Ask a question, Gerald. I'll be more than happy to read for you. It's funny that I literally the words came out of my mouth and then your comment popped up. Jackie says you can't watch it without Sophie. I know. I think it's going to have to be Harry Potter, isn't it? We just saw Christmas Chronicles and loved it. Thinking about watching the second one tonight, says Jonathan. Yeah, no, it's really good, isn't it, Jonathan? I've really, really enjoyed it. Like, thoroughly enjoyed it, and so did Sophie. She's only 2, so it's not the easiest to get her to actually sit and watch a film, but we both really enjoyed it. She's still here too, still here, and I think I'm finished tinkering about. Come and sit down, pour yourself a wee wine or a cup of tea, and join us ish. I have a question if you want one. Yes or no? Should I volunteer to have you do a public reading with you? Oh, I don't need cards to answer that. No, let's pull out the playing cards and see what they say then. Right, my cards better not let me down here. Like say, no, don't do it, Gerald. He's an arsehole. Oh, laughing at my own jokes. No, honestly, I'd be more than happy to have you on. So, email address is elementalcartomancy, no dots or spaces or anything, just the channel name, elementalcartomancy, all one word, at gmail.com. So if you want to come on and join me, I would be delighted to have you. I'm sure it would be lovely for everyone to kind of see you and get to know you as well. So please do. So yeah, just send me an email, Gerald. But let's see what cards we pull for you. This will be interesting. Oh, we've got a red. We've at least got 1 red. That's good. We've got 2 reds, right? It's a yes. Yes. 3 reds. Go for it. What have you got to lose? Yeah, so the way that the playing cards work when you're asking yes or no questions is, at a glance, you're looking at red cards versus black cards. All right. If you get more reds than blacks, then the answer is yes. More blacks than reds, the answer is no. Hearts are like a hell yes, like fuck yes, go for it. Diamonds are like a probably yeah. Clubs are maybe think about saying no, and spades tend to be a no. We've got 2 hearts and the diamonds. We're going for a big yes. So definitely send me an email, get in touch, and I'm sure everybody will be looking forward to seeing you. We'll maybe try and get you slotted in for some point in January if you wanted to do that. Let's look at the reading anyway. We've got the Queen of Hearts coming in. So Queen of Hearts, quite often we associate that with being the kind of the tarot readers or the tarot consultants card. Yeah, she's the water of water. It's all about kind of nurturing your emotions and your connections and getting connected. So definitely building on connections. This isn't only going to allow you to ask a question and look at the tarot and everything that the tarot brings. It's not only the connection to that side of things, but also think about the connections that it's going to let you build with the other people in this community. All right. It's going to let people get to know you more. And you kind of strengthen that bond that you've got with people. You've got the 8 of diamonds coming in there. 8s in playing cards actually talk about like collectives, as in collections of people. We've got diamonds, which is like work. So if you're coming on to get a reading done, then it's not all going to be kind of like it's not all just going to be about getting to know people. We need to remember the aspect of we're actually reading for you here, and we're going to be doing some. We're going to be asking some questions and getting some answers. And then we've got the Ace of Hearts coming in at the end there, which is a nice card to end on because it's all about kind of, like I was saying with the Queen of Hearts, is about getting that new connection and building on it. It's something to build on. So it's a spark that can be turned into a kind of raging fire if you nurture it enough. So yeah. You'll be in touch. You're wondering how deep of a question to ask. Building questions is a really good thing. Considering creating a new channel and then posting content. You know, I would say go for it. I was hesitant, and then I had like people like Elle and Simon who really kind of gave me a nudge in the right direction, and I've done it, and I've never looked back since. So you know, you'll know when it's time for you. For me, I was very much like I wasn't really wanting to do anything like that until I knew that I could bring something that not necessarily that was unique to me or that no one else was bringing, but I didn't want to just come on and create a channel for the sake of doing like, you know, unboxings, for example, or walkthroughs when there's so many people that do it that can do that already and that can do it so much better than me. So I was quite clear that that was like my own personal criterion for wanting to create a channel and come on and do this. So I guess you just need to decide what it is that's maybe holding you back just now. What is your personal criterion or criteria if you've got more than one? And yeah, when is the time? Maybe that's a question that we can put to the cards. Let's have a wee nosy at the comments. So no tags, which means I don't think we've got another question. I should had Terry Pratchett movies on, nice. Jackie, I feel like watching the first Harry Potter film now. Well, that'll be good fun, Jackie. If you watch the third one, then message me and we can do that thing where we watch them at the same time and we can chat about it. No, I'm kidding. I'm not. That'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it? But in a fun way, a fun weird. Hi, honey, Jamie. If you don't kick Chris's tush Sunday, something's wrong. Oh dear. When you're talking about you don't know how deep a question to ask, Gerald, speak to like if you know Justin Michael, speak to him. Give him a shout. He can probably advise you because he came on and did this with me, and equally Susie did it last week. So if you're able to get in touch with either of them, they can maybe kind of advise you on their experience. What I would say is ask something that's meaty enough that we can really kind of get into, but don't ask something that's so personal that it would maybe make you feel uncomfortable if how many people have got just now? 16. If 16 people were reading your cards for you and you know you've got 16 different readings essentially coming at you. So you know you don't want it to go so deep and personal that's going to kind of either trigger you or you know make you feel in any way uncomfortable because that's not what we're wanting to do. So yeah, maybe have a think about a question that's you know that's quite you know that's not too deep but that's meaty enough. You watched Justin's you watched his roundtable reading. That's good. I hope you enjoyed it. Just bring what you love in Edinburgh. Hi again all. Back home to recoup for a couple of hours before the Christmas lunch. Hi Hen. I think we're more or less just about finishing up. But it's lovely to see you. Casey's same here, Debbie. What's Debbie saying? Someday I'll post videos. Jonathan just got a used copy of the Charmin Caselli Tarot. I'm going to have to descent it, as in smell. Oh, it smells like cigarettes. Oh, well, that's never nice. I know myself well enough that I'll start a channel simply because I've asked. Jackie says, is it your turn now? Oh, she says, wow, Hen, a busy day, but no cooking or washing up. Or is it your turn now? There's never any cooking when I'm involved, Jackie. Oh dear. We've all got that, what's it called when your sense of humour is to slag yourself off, is to take the piss out yourself? Is it a self? I don't want to use the wrong word here. Self-deprivating, is that it? Self-deprivating sense of humour? It's not a self-defecating sense of humour because that's shitting on yourself. Self-deprivating sense of humour, I think, is what the words that I'm looking for. Jackie says I as swap us round so you can see me properly. Jen says I always take the piss out of myself. Yeah, I'm the same, Jen. It's kind of become an automatic like thing for my sense of humour is just to kind of take the piss out of myself. Yeah, I find it quite funny. I think it's almost like going really deep here, but it's almost like a way of like protecting yourself. If you're saying it, then it means that you're saying it first, so it doesn't matter if somebody else says it. And it's funny if you feel as though you're in control, if you're slagging yourself off. Whereas if somebody else was to saying it when you're not expecting it, then it might hurt your feelings or something. I don't know if that's where it roots in. You probably know better than me. You're the psychologist. You can't take yourself too serious. Yeah, I totally agree, Jackie. Certainly not in the domesticated department, Jonathan. Not much of a chef. Right, guys. I'm going to love yous and leave yous, because yous all you UK people need to get your night gear on and get to your beds. Otherwise, Santa's not going to come. My face has gone bright red. See, that's quite often a good indicator of when it's time to stop. Like, as the night goes on, my face gets redder and redder and redder, and wine seems to be a catalyst to that. But yeah, I can see my rosy cheeks in StreamYard. But yeah, thank you so much to each and every one of you who's either still here right now, who's here right now, or who was here earlier on and the live. I know it's Christmas Eve. I know that we're all busy and we've all got stuff that we're doing today. It means so much that you've all come on. I said it, I think, in the description. Christmas is a time to spend with your family, and as far as I'm concerned, my friends are my family. These are my family that I've chosen. So it means a lot to me that you're all here. So thank you so much. I hope everybody has an amazing Christmas. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Send us a wee message if you're free. And yeah, I'll have you and leave you on that. Bye, everyone. Thank you.